Question 1. Types of property insurance policies. Which of the following statements about homeowners insurance in Idaho is correct? A. Homeowners insurance policies in Idaho always cover flood damage. B. Homeowners insurance policies in Idaho typically exclude coverage for damage caused by earthquakes. C. Homeowners insurance policies in Idaho must include coverage for termite damage. D. Homeowners insurance policies in Idaho automatically cover all personal belongings without any limits. B. Homeowners insurance policies in Idaho typically exclude coverage for damage caused by earthquakes. Explanation: homeowners insurance policies generally cover perils such as fire, theft, and wind damage. However, they typically exclude coverage for flood and earthquake damage, which must be purchased separately. Earthquake coverage can be added through an endorsement or a separate policy. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, most standard homeowners insurance policies do not include earthquake coverage, emphasizing the need for homeowners to seek additional coverage for such events. Question 2. Insurance claims. John is an insured policyholder in Idaho who recently experienced a significant water leak in his home, causing extensive damage. When filing a claim, John must ensure he complies with specific policy provisions to facilitate the claims process. Which of the following actions should John take to meet his policy's requirements? A. Immediately repair the damage before notifying his insurance company. B. Document the damage and notify his insurance company as soon as possible. C. Wait until his insurance company contacts him before taking any action. D. Dispose of any damaged property to prevent further inconvenience. Answer: B. Document the damage and notify his insurance company as soon as possible. Explanation: in the event of a loss, insured policyholders are required to document the damage and notify their insurance company promptly. This helps ensure a smooth claims process and allows the insurer to evaluate the claim effectively. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises policyholders to take photographs of the damage, make a detailed inventory of lost or damaged items, and report the incident to their insurer immediately. Failure to follow these steps can lead to delays or denial of the claim. Question 3. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is most likely to affect the underwriting process for a commercial property insurance policy in Idaho? A. The number of employees working in the insured property. B. The proximity of the insured property to a fire station. C. The number of years the property owner has lived in Idaho. D. The type of person or vehicles owned by the property owner. Answer: B. The proximity of the insured property to a fire station. Explanation: in underwriting commercial property insurance, underwriters assess various risk factors to determine the insurability and pricing of the policy. One critical factor is the property's proximity to fire stations and hydrants, as this influences the potential severity of fire damage and the insurer's risk exposure. Properties closer to fire stations are generally considered lower risk and may benefit from lower premiums. Other factors like the building's construction, occupancy type, and loss history also play significant roles in the underwriting process. Question 4. Policy provisions and endorsements. Which of the following statements about policy endorsements in Idaho is correct? A. Endorsements always increase the coverage limits of the policy. B. Endorsements can modify the terms of the original policy, either adding or restricting coverage. C. Endorsements are only used to add additional insureds to the policy. D. Endorsements automatically renew along with the policy without any additional premium. Answer: B. Endorsements can modify the terms of the original policy, either adding or restricting coverage. Explanation: endorsements, also known as riders or amendments, are used to modify the original terms and conditions of an insurance policy. In Idaho, as in other states, endorsements can either add to, change, or restrict coverage. They allow for customization of the insurance policy to meet specific needs of the policyholder. For example, an endorsement could be used to add coverage for a particular type of property or peril, or to exclude certain types of coverage. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, endorsements can affect the coverage and premiums of the policy and must be agreed upon by both the insurer and the policyholder. Question 5. Liability and legal concepts. In Idaho, which of the following best describes the concept of comparative negligence in liability insurance? A. The insured is completely barred from recovery if they are found to be at fault. B. The insured can recover damages only if they are less than 50% at fault. C. The insured's recovery is reduced by the percentage of their own fault. D. The insured is entitled to full recovery regardless of their own fault. Answer: C. The insured's recovery is reduced by the percentage of their own fault. Explanation: comparative negligence is a legal doctrine used in Idaho to allocate fault among parties involved in an accident or injury. Under this concept, the amount of damages that an injured party can recover is reduced by the percentage of their own fault in causing the injury. For example, if a court determines that the plaintiff is 20% at fault for their injuries, their recovery would be reduced by 20%. Idaho follows a modified comparative negligence rule where a plaintiff can recover damages as long as their fault is not equal to or greater than the combined fault of the other parties, less than 50%. This rule ensures that liability is fairly apportioned based on the degree of fault. Question 6. Scenario-based question on claims handling process. Michael is a policyholder in Idaho who recently had a theft incident at his business premises. To ensure a smooth claims process, what steps should Michael take after discovering the theft? A. Clean up the scene and wait for the insurance adjuster to contact him. B. Report the theft to the police, document the damage and stolen items, and notify his insurance company immediately. C. Replace the stolen items and submit the receipts to the insurance company for reimbursement. D. Wait for a few days to see if the stolen items are recovered before notifying the insurance company. Answer: B. Report the theft to the police, document the damage and stolen items, and notify his insurance company immediately. Explanation: in the event of a theft, it is crucial for the policyholder to take prompt and appropriate actions to facilitate the claims process. Michael should first report the theft to the police and obtain a police report, as this is often required by the insurance company for verification purposes. Next, he should document the damage and list the stolen items, including taking photographs if possible. Finally, he must notify his insurance company immediately to report the claim. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, timely reporting and thorough documentation are essential steps in ensuring a smooth and successful claims process. A failure to follow these steps may result in delays or denial of the claim. Question 7. Valuation of property. Which of the following valuation methods is commonly used in Idaho homeowners insurance policies to determine the amount payable for a covered loss? A. Market value. B. Replacement cost value, RCV. C. Cash value, CV. D. Actual cash value. Answer: D. Actual cash value, SCV. Explanation: actual cash value, SCV, is a common valuation method used in Idaho homeowners insurance policies to determine the amount payable for a covered loss. A CV is calculated as the replacement cost of the property minus depreciation. This means the insurance payout will reflect the current value of the damaged or lost item considering its age and condition, while some policies offer replacement cost value, RCV, which covers the cost to replace the item without depreciation. ACV is more widely used. The Idaho Department of Insurance highlights the importance of understanding these valuation methods as they significantly impact the claim amount a policyholder can receive. Question 8. State insurance laws and regulations. In Idaho, which of the following is required for an individual to become a licensed property and casualty insurance producer? A. Complete a high school diploma and pass a basic competency test. B. Pass the state licensing exam and complete a pre-licensing education course. C. Obtain a college degree in insurance and complete an internship. D. Submit a written application and pay a licensing fee without any exams. Answer: B. Pass the state licensing exam and complete a pre-licensing education course. Explanation: to become a licensed property and casualty insurance producer in Idaho, an individual must pass the state licensing exam and complete a pre-licensing education course. The Idaho Department of Insurance mandates that prospective producers complete a specific number of hours of pre-licensing education to ensure they have the necessary knowledge and skills. Additionally, candidates must pass a rigorous state exam that tests their understanding of insurance concepts, state laws, and regulations. This process helps maintain professional standards and ensure that licensed producers can confidently serve the insurance needs of Idaho residents. Question 9. Insurance claims. Which of the following actions is most important for an insurance adjuster in Idaho when investigating a property damage claim? A. Estimating the claim value based solely on the policyholder's description. B. Conducting a thorough inspection of the damaged property and obtaining evidence. C. Approving the claim immediately to ensure quick settlement. D. Consulting with the policyholder's neighbors to verify the extent of the damage. Answer: B. Conducting a thorough inspection of the damaged property and obtaining evidence. Explanation: when investigating a property damage claim in Idaho, it is crucial for an insurance adjuster to conduct a thorough inspection of the damaged property and obtain evidence. This includes taking photographs, assessing the extent of the damage, and collecting any other relevant documentation that supports the claim. The adjuster must accurately evaluate the loss to determine the appropriate amount payable under the policy terms. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, a comprehensive investigation ensures that claims are settled fairly and in accordance with the policy provisions. This process helps prevent fraudulent claims and ensures that policyholders receive the compensation they are entitled to based on their coverage. Question 10. Underwriting considerations. In Idaho, which of the following factors is typically considered by underwriters when assessing the risk for issuing a homeowner's insurance policy? A. The homeowner's credit score. B. The homeowner's vehicle history. C. The homeowner's educational background. D. The homeowner's travel history. Answer: A. The homeowner's credit score. Explanation: in Idaho, underwriters often consider a homeowner's credit score when assessing the risk for issuing a homeowner's insurance policy. A credit score can provide insight into the policyholder's financial responsibility and likelihood of filing claims. Research has shown that individuals with higher credit scores tend to file fewer claims, making them a lower risk for insurers. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, using credit scores as part of the underwriting process is a common practice and helps insurers determine appropriate premiums and coverage levels. Other factors considered in underwriting include the property's location, construction type, and the homeowner's claims history. Question 11. Insurance policy analysis. Which of the following is a key component of the declarations page in an Idaho insurance policy? A. Detailed exclusions and limitations. B. The policyholder's responsibilities in case of a claim. C. A list of endorsements attached to the policy. D. The amount of coverage provided for each type of insured property. Answer: D. The amount of coverage provided for each type of insured property. Explanation: the declarations page of an insurance policy is a crucial component that provides an overview of the essential details of the coverage. In Idaho, as elsewhere, the declarations page typically includes information such as the policyholder's name and address, the policy number, the coverage period, and the amount of coverage provided for each type of insured property. It also lists the premium amount and any deductibles. This page serves as a summary of the policy and helps the policyholder quickly understand the scope of their coverage, while other parts of the policy will detail exclusions, limitations, and endorsements. The declarations page is primarily focused on the key coverage details. Question 12. Casualty insurance policies. Which of the following best describes the coverage provided by a personal umbrella policy in Idaho? A. It provides coverage only for the insured's primary residence. B. It extends the liability limits of the insured's underlying policies and provides additional liability coverage. C. It covers damages to the insured's vehicles and personal property. D. It is mandatory coverage for all Idaho residents. Answer: B. It extends the liability limits of the insured's underlying policies and provides additional liability coverage. Explanation: a personal umbrella policy in Idaho provides additional liability coverage beyond the limits of the insured's underlying policies, such as homeowners, auto, and boat insurance. It acts as a safety net, offering higher liability limits and broader coverage, which can protect the insured against significant claims and lawsuits that exceed the coverage limits of their primary policies. This type of policy is especially important for individuals with substantial assets or high risk of liability exposure. The Idaho Department of Insurance highlights that while umbrella insurance is not mandatory, it is a valuable option for those seeking extra protection against potentially devastating financial losses from liability claims. Question 13. Policy provisions and endorsements. Which of the following best describes the purpose of a scheduled personal property endorsement in Idaho homeowners insurance policies? A. To cover damages caused by flooding. B. To increase liability coverage limits. C. To provide additional coverage for specific high-value items. D. To extend coverage to secondary residences. Answer: C. To provide additional coverage for specific high-value items. Explanation: If scheduled personal property endorsement in Idaho homeowners insurance policies is designed to provide additional coverage for specific high-value items such as jewelry, fine art, antiques, and electronics. Standard homeowners insurance policies typically have coverage limits for personal property, which might not be sufficient for high-value items. By scheduling these items, policyholders can ensure that they are covered for their full value. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, this endorsement provides more comprehensive protection and may include fewer exclusions and lower deductibles than the standard personal property coverage. Question 14. Liability and legal concepts. In Idaho, which of the following describes the principle of vicarious liability? A. An employer is held liable for the actions of their employees performed within the scope of employment. B. A property owner is always liable for injuries that occur on their property. C. A driver is only liable for their own negligence on the road. D. A tenant is responsible for all damages to a rental property, regardless of fault. Answer A. An employer is held liable for the actions of their employees performed within the scope of employment. Explanation: The principle of vicarious liability holds that an employer can be held liable for the actions of their employees when those actions are performed within the scope of employment. This legal concept is applicable in Idaho and ensures that employers are responsible for the conduct of their employees while they are performing job-related duties. Vicarious liability is crucial for ensuring that victims can seek compensation from employers who have better financial resources than individual employees. The Idaho Department of Insurance recognizes this principle as a fundamental aspect of liability insurance, which protects employers from potential claims arising from their employees' actions. Question 15. Scenario-based question on claims settlement methods. Sarah, the business owner in Idaho, has a commercial property insurance policy. A recent storm caused significant damage to her property, and she is now filing a claim. Which of the following methods of loss settlement might be applied to determine her claim payout? A. The insurer will pay the market value of the damaged property. B. The insurer will pay the actual cash value, SEV, of the damaged property minus depreciation. C. The insurer will pay the replacement cost value, RCV, without considering depreciation. D. The insurer will provide a lump sum payment without any assessment of the damage. Answer: B. The insurer will pay the actual cash value, SEV, of the damaged property minus depreciation. Explanation: When settling a claim, insurers often use the actual cash value, SEV, method to determine the payout amount. ACV is calculated as the replacement cost of the damaged property minus depreciation. This method takes into account the age and condition of the property at the time of the loss, providing a payout that reflects its current value. While some policies may offer replacement cost value, RCV, coverage, which pays the cost to replace the property without considering depreciation, SCV is a more common settlement method. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, understanding the difference between ACV and RCV is essential for policyholders to manage their expectations and ensure adequate coverage. Question 16. Coverage and exclusions. Which of the following perils is typically excluded from standard commercial property insurance policies in Idaho? A. Fire. B. Theft. C. Earthquake. D. Vandalism. Answer: C. Earthquake. Explanation: Standard commercial property insurance policies in Idaho typically exclude coverage for earthquakes. Coverage for earthquake damage must be purchased separately, either as an endorsement to the existing policy or as a standalone policy. Earthquake insurance is important for businesses in areas prone to seismic activity, as it provides financial protection against damages caused by ground shaking, tremors, and related events. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises business owners to evaluate their risk and consider obtaining earthquake coverage to protect their assets from potential seismic events. Question 17. Insurance contracts. Which of the following is an essential element of an insurance contract in Idaho? A. Only the promise of the insurer to pay claims. B. Only the acceptance of the policyholder. C. Both the offer and acceptance consideration and a legal purpose. D. Only the legal purpose of the contract. Answer: C. Both the offer and acceptance consideration and a legal purpose. Explanation: an insurance contract in Idaho, like any other contract, must include several essential elements to be legally binding. These elements are offer and acceptance consideration and a legal purpose. Offer and acceptance refer to the insurer's proposal to provide coverage and the policyholder's agreement to the terms. Consideration involves the exchange of value, with the policyholder paying premiums and the insurer providing coverage. A legal purpose ensures that the contract is for lawful activities and not for illegal purposes. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes that understanding these elements is crucial for both insurers and policyholders to ensure the contract's validity and enforceability. Question 18. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following best describes the concept of adverse selection in the context of Idaho insurance underwriting? A. Insurers providing coverage to high-risk individuals at standard rates. B. Policyholders intentionally providing false information on their application. C. Insurers declining coverage to low-risk individuals. D. Policyholders with low risk getting insurance at low premiums. Answer: A. Insurers providing coverage to high-risk individuals at standard rates. Explanation: adverse selection occurs when individuals with a higher risk of loss are more likely to purchase insurance, while those with low risk opt out, leading to an imbalanced and financially unsustainable pool for insurers. In Idaho, as in other states, adverse selection is a critical concern for underwriters, as it can result in higher than expected claims and increased premiums for all policyholders. Insurers employ various underwriting strategies, such as risk assessment and pricing based on risk factors, to mitigate the impact of adverse selection. The Idaho Department of Insurance highlights the importance of accurate risk evaluation to maintain the stability and fairness of the insurance market. Question 19. Insurance contracts. In Idaho, which of the following best describes a warranty in an insurance contract? A. A promise by the insurer to pay claims within a specified time frame. B. A statement or promise by the insured that must be true and complied with for the policy to remain valid. C. A temporary agreement providing coverage until the final policy is issued. D. A modification to the policy terms and conditions. Answer: B. A statement or promise by the insured that must be true and complied with for the policy to remain valid. Explanation: in insurance contracts, a warranty is a statement or promise made by the insured that must be true at the time of making the statement and complied with throughout the policy period. In Idaho, if the insured breaches a warranty, it can lead to the voiding of the policy even if the breach is unrelated to the actual loss. Warranties are more stringent than representations, which are statements believed to be true to the best of the insured's knowledge. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of understanding warranties to avoid unintentional breaches that could jeopardize coverage. Question 20. Coverage and exclusions. In Idaho, which of the following is typically excluded from a standard homeowner's insurance policy? A. Fire damage. B. Theft of personal property. C. Flood damage. D. Liability coverage for injuries to guests. Answer: C. Flood damage. Explanation: flood damage is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies in Idaho. Homeowners who wish to have coverage for flood-related losses must purchase a separate flood insurance policy, often through the National Flood Insurance Program (NFIP). This exclusion is standard across the industry due to the high risk and potential for catastrophic losses associated with flooding. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises homeowners to assess their flood risk and consider obtaining flood insurance to protect their property from potential flood damage. Question 21. Scenario-based question on insurance claims. David, a homeowner in Idaho, discovers that his home has been severely damaged by a fire. What steps should David take to ensure his claim is processed efficiently? A. Wait for the insurance company to reach out before taking any action. B. Begin repairs immediately to minimize further damage without documenting the current state. C. Report the loss to his insurance company, document the damage with photos and videos, and provide a detailed inventory of lost or damaged items. D. Discard all damaged items and clean up the site before the adjuster arrives. Answer: C. Report the loss to his insurance company. Document the damage with photos and videos and provide a detailed inventory of lost or damaged items. Explanation. When filing a claim for severe fire damage, it is essential for David to report the loss to his insurance company as soon as possible. He should document the damage thoroughly with photos and videos and prepare a detailed inventory of lost or damaged items, including descriptions, values, and purchase dates. This documentation will help the insurance adjuster accurately assess the claim and expedite the settlement process. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, prompt and detailed reporting is crucial for efficient claims processing and ensuring that policyholders receive the compensation they are entitled to under their policy terms. Question 22. Loss settlement methods. Which of the following best describes the replacement cost value method of loss settlement in Idaho homeowners insurance policies? A. The amount it would cost to replace the damaged property minus depreciation. B. The market value of the damaged property at the time of the loss. C. The cost to replace the damaged property without deduction for depreciation. D. The original purchase price of the damaged property. Answer. C. The cost to replace the damaged property without deduction for depreciation. Explanation. Replacement cost value (RCV) is a loss settlement method used in Idaho homeowners insurance policies where the insurer pays the amount needed to replace the damaged property without deducting for depreciation. This means the payout is based on the current cost to replace the item with a new one of similar kind and quality. RCV is advantageous for policyholders as it provides sufficient funds to restore their property to its original condition. The Idaho Department of Insurance notes that understanding the difference between RCV and actual cash value (SCV) is crucial for policyholders to make informed decisions about their coverage options. Question 23. State insurance laws and regulations. In Idaho, what is the purpose of the Guarantee Association? A. To offer discounts on insurance premiums to low-income policyholders. B. To ensure that insurance companies comply with state regulations. C. To provide a safety net for policyholders if an insurance company becomes insolvent. D. To offer legal representation to policyholders in disputes with insurers. Answer. C. To provide a safety net for policyholders if an insurance company becomes insolvent. Explanation. The Idaho Guarantee Association provides a safety net for policyholders if an insurance company becomes insolvent. It ensures that policyholders are protected and that their valid claims are paid up to certain limits, even if their insurer can no longer fulfill its financial obligations. The association is funded by assessments on insurance companies operating in Idaho and acts as a backstop to maintain consumer confidence in the insurance industry. The Idaho Department of Insurance oversees the Guarantee Association, ensuring that it operates effectively to protect policyholders in the event of an insurer's insolvency. Question 24. Scenario-based question on casualty insurance. James, an Idaho resident, was involved in an auto accident where he was found to be 30% at fault and the other driver was 70% at fault under Idaho's comparative negligence rule. How will James's ability to recover damages be affected? A. James will be barred from recovering any damages because he was partially at fault. B. James will recover 70% of his damages from the other driver. C. James will recover 30% of his damages from the other driver. D. James will recover all his damages from the other driver since the other driver was more at fault. Answer. B. James will recover 70% of his damages from the other driver. Explanation. Under Idaho's comparative negligence rule, James can recover damages from the other driver, but his recovery will be reduced by his percentage of fault. Since James was found to be 30% at fault, he can recover 70% of his damages from the other driver, who was 70% at fault. Comparative negligence allows for a fair allocation of damages based on the degree of fault of each party involved in the accident. The Idaho Department of Insurance explains that this rule ensures that liability is distributed proportionally and that parties are compensated according to their level of responsibility in the incident. Question 25. Insurance underwriting. In Idaho, which of the following factors is most likely to be considered by underwriters when determining the premium for an auto insurance policy? A. The policyholder's marital status. B. The policyholder's favorite color. C. The policyholder's vehicle maintenance records. D. The policyholder's driving history. Answer: D. The policyholder's driving history. Explanation: in Idaho, underwriters consider the policyholder's driving history as one of the primary factors when determining the premium for an auto insurance policy. A clean driving record with no accidents or violations typically results in lower premiums, while a history of accidents or traffic violations can lead to higher premiums. The driving history is a strong indicator of the risk the policyholder poses to the insurer. According to the Idaho Department of Insurance, other factors like the type of vehicle, usage, and coverage limits also influence the premium, but the driving history is a critical component in risk assessment. Question 26. Policy provisions and endorsements. Which of the following is a common purpose of adding an endorsement to a property insurance policy in Idaho? A. To reduce the coverage limits of the policy. B. To clarify the exclusions listed in the policy. C. To modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. D. To extend the payment period for premiums. Answer: C. To modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. Explanation: an endorsement is added to a property insurance policy to modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. In Idaho, endorsements can be used to customize a standard policy to meet the specific needs of the policyholder, such as adding coverage for certain types of property or perils that are not included in the base policy. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises policyholders to carefully review endorsements to understand how they affect their coverage and to ensure that they have the necessary protection for their specific circumstances. Question 27. Scenario-based question on workers' compensation insurance. Rebecca, an employee in Idaho, suffers an injury while performing her job duties. Which of the following is her first step to ensure she receives workers' compensation benefits? A. Contact an attorney to file a lawsuit against her employer. B. Notify her employer about the injury as soon as possible. C. Apply for unemployment benefits. D. Wait until her injury heals before taking any action. Answer: B. Notify her employer about the injury as soon as possible. Explanation: Rebecca's first step to ensure she receives workers' compensation benefits is to notify her employer about the injury as soon as possible. In Idaho, it is crucial for employees to report workplace injuries promptly to comply with state regulations and to initiate the claims process. A failure to report an injury within the required time frame can jeopardize the employee's ability to receive benefits. According to the Idaho Industrial Commission, employers are then responsible for filing a report with their workers' compensation insurance carrier, which will begin the process of providing medical care and compensation for lost wages due to the injury. Question 28. Casualty insurance policies. Which of the following scenarios best illustrates the concept of negligence in the context of liability insurance in Idaho? A. Sarah accidentally spills water on the floor of her own home. B. John fails to repair a broken stair railing in his rental property, leading to a tenant falling and injuring themselves. C. Michael's dog barks loudly at night, disturbing his neighbors. D. Emily's child accidentally breaks a window while playing with a ball. Answer: B. John fails to repair a broken stair railing in his rental property, leading to a tenant falling and injuring themselves. Explanation: negligence in the context of liability insurance refers to the failure to exercise reasonable care, resulting in harm or injury to another person or their property. In Idaho, John's failure to repair a broken stair railing in his rental property demonstrates negligence because he had a duty to maintain safe conditions for tenants. This negligence could lead to liability claims if a tenant is injured due to the unrepaired railing. Liability insurance typically covers damages and legal expenses arising from such negligence, subject to policy terms and limits. Understanding negligence is crucial for property owners and landlords in Idaho to mitigate risks and ensure adequate insurance coverage. Question 29. Ethics and professional conduct. Which of the following best describes the ethical responsibility of insurance agents in Idaho? A. Maximizing profits for their insurance company. B. Providing accurate and truthful information to clients. C. Persuading clients to purchase unnecessary insurance policies. D. Refusing to assist clients with insurance claims. Answer: B. Providing accurate and truthful information to clients. Explanation: insurance agents in Idaho have an ethical responsibility to provide accurate and truthful information to their clients. This includes explaining policy terms, coverage options, and any limitations or exclusions that may apply. Agents are expected to act in the best interests of their clients by helping them understand their insurance needs and recommending suitable coverage options. Providing misleading or inaccurate information can result in consumer harm and regulatory scrutiny. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of ethical conduct among insurance professionals to maintain consumer trust and ensure fair practices in the insurance industry. Question 30. Insurance claims. Which of the following is a key consideration for insurance companies in Idaho when evaluating a property damage claim? A. The homeowner's income level. B. The type of vehicle involved in the incident. C. The cause of the property damage. D. The homeowner's social media activity. Answer. C. The cause of the property damage. Explanation. When evaluating a property damage claim in Idaho, insurance companies consider the cause of the damage to determine coverage eligibility and claim settlement. The cause of loss affects whether the damage is covered under the policy, as certain perils may be excluded or require additional coverage endorsements. Insurers investigate the circumstances surrounding the damage, such as fire, water damage, or vandalism, to assess the claim's validity and determine the appropriate payout. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises homeowners to provide accurate and detailed information about the cause of property damage when filing a claim to facilitate a fair and timely claim settlement process. Question 31. Insurance policy analysis. In Idaho, what does the insuring agreement section of an insurance policy typically outline? A. The duties of the insured in the event of a claim. B. The specific perils covered by the policy. C. The policyholder's premium payment schedule. D. The insurer's promise to provide coverage under specified conditions. Answer. D. The insurer's promise to provide coverage under specified conditions. Explanation. The insuring agreement section of an insurance policy in Idaho outlines the insurer's promise to provide coverage under specified conditions. It defines the scope of coverage, including the risks or perils covered, and sets forth the obligations of the insurer to pay for covered losses or damages. Understanding the insuring agreement is essential for policyholders to know what risks are protected and under what circumstances they can make a claim. The Idaho Department of Insurance encourages policyholders to review this section carefully to ensure they have the coverage they need and understand the insurer's obligations. Question 32. Workers' compensation insurance. Under Idaho law, which of the following individuals is typically covered by workers' compensation insurance? A. Independent contractors hired on a project basis. B. Volunteers at non-profit organizations. C. Seasonal employees working less than 90 days per year. D. Full-time employees of a business. Answer. D. Full-time employees of a business. Explanation. Under Idaho law, workers' compensation insurance typically covers full-time employees of a business. This coverage provides benefits to employees who suffer work-related injuries or illnesses, including medical expenses, lost wages, and rehabilitation costs. Independent contractors, volunteers, and certain seasonal or temporary workers may not be covered under workers' compensation unless specifically included by the employer. The Idaho Industrial Commission oversees workers' compensation regulations in the state, ensuring compliance and protecting the rights of covered employees. Question 33. Insurance industry trends and developments. What is a significant trend influencing the insurance industry in Idaho and across the United States in recent years? A. Decreased adoption of digital technologies for claims processing. B. Increased reliance on traditional distribution channels. C. Growing demand for cyber insurance coverage. D. Reduction in regulatory oversight by state insurance departments. Answer. C. Growing demand for cyber insurance coverage. Explanation. A significant trend influencing the insurance industry in Idaho and nationwide is the growing demand for cyber insurance coverage. With the rise in cyber threats and data breaches affecting businesses and individuals, there is an increased awareness of the need for insurance protection against cyber risks. Cyber insurance policies typically cover expenses related to data breaches, including forensic investigations, legal fees, notification costs, and credit monitoring services. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises businesses to assess their cyber risk exposure and consider purchasing cyber insurance to mitigate potential financial losses and liabilities associated with cyber incidents. Question 34. Insurance claims handling. In Idaho, what role does subrogation play in the insurance claims handling process? A. It refers to the process of investigating and evaluating claims. B. It allows policyholders to appeal claim denials through arbitration. C. It involves the insurance company recovering claim payments from responsible third parties. D. It ensures that policyholders receive fair compensation for their losses. Answer. C. It involves the insurance company recovering claim payments from responsible third parties. Explanation. Subrogation in the insurance context refers to the process where an insurance company recovers claim payments from responsible third parties after compensating the insured for a loss. In Idaho, subrogation helps insurers recover costs when another party is liable for the damages covered under the insurance policy. This process is crucial for preventing double recovery by the insured and helps insurers manage claim costs effectively. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of subrogation in maintaining fairness and efficiency in the insurance claims handling process. Question 35. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the purpose of producer licensing requirements in Idaho's insurance regulations? A. To limit the number of insurance companies operating in the state. B. To ensure that insurance policies are affordable for consumers. C. To protect consumers by ensuring that insurance agents and brokers are qualified and ethical. D. To exempt insurance agents from continuing education requirements. Answer. C. To protect consumers by ensuring that insurance agents and brokers are qualified and ethical. Explanation. Producer licensing requirements in Idaho's insurance regulations aim to protect consumers by ensuring that insurance agents and brokers are qualified, knowledgeable, and ethical in their practices. Licensing requirements include education, examinations, and ongoing continuing education to maintain knowledge of insurance products, laws, and ethical standards. By licensing producers, the Idaho Department of Insurance seeks to promote consumer confidence in the insurance industry and safeguard against fraud, misrepresentation, and inadequate service. Consumers are encouraged to verify the licensure status of insurance agents and brokers before purchasing insurance products. Question 36. Policy provisions and endorsements. Which of the following is a common provision found in liability insurance policies in Idaho? A. Replacement cost coverage for personal property. B. Coverage for intentional acts of the insured. C. Coverage for damage caused by flood. D. Coverage for legal defense costs. Answer. D. Coverage for legal defense costs. Explanation. A common provision found in liability insurance policies in Idaho is coverage for legal defense costs. This provision typically covers legal expenses, including attorney fees, court costs, and settlements or judgments arising from covered claims or lawsuits against the insured. Legal defense coverage is essential for policyholders facing allegations of negligence or liability, ensuring they have financial support to hire legal representation and defend against legal actions. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises policyholders to review their liability insurance policies carefully to understand the extent of coverage for legal defense costs and other protections provided. Question 37. Coverage and exclusions. Which of the following events is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies in Idaho? A. Windstorm damage. B. Theft of personal property. C. Water damage from burst pipes. D. Damage caused by volcanic eruption. Answer. D. Damage caused by volcanic eruption. Explanation. Damage caused by volcanic eruption is typically excluded from standard homeowners insurance policies in Idaho. Volcanic eruptions are considered high-risk events that can lead to extensive property damage, making coverage for such perils rare and often requiring separate volcanic eruption insurance or endorsements. Policyholders in volcanic-prone areas are encouraged to assess their risk exposure and consider specialized insurance coverage options to protect against potential volcanic-related losses. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises homeowners to review their policies carefully and inquire about additional coverage options for specific perils not covered under standard policies. Question 38. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibility do insurance agents have in Idaho regarding client information? A. Agents are required to share client information with other insurers upon request. B. Agents must disclose client information to third parties without consent. C. Agents must handle client information confidentially and responsibly. D. Agents are allowed to use client information for marketing purposes without consent. Answer: C. Agents must handle client information confidentially and responsibly. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents have an ethical responsibility to handle client information confidentially and responsibly. This includes safeguarding sensitive personal and financial information provided by clients during the insurance application and claims processes. Agents are prohibited from disclosing client information to third parties without consent except as required by law or regulation. Maintaining client confidentiality helps build trust between agents and their clients and ensures compliance with privacy laws and ethical standards in the insurance industry. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of protecting client information to uphold consumer trust and privacy rights. Question 39. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of exclusions in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. To limit the amount of coverage provided by the policy. B. To clarify the conditions under which coverage applies. C. To extend coverage to additional perils not listed in the policy. D. To exclude coverage for specific risks or events. Answer: D. To exclude coverage for specific risks or events. Explanation: exclusions in an insurance policy in Idaho serve the purpose of excluding coverage for specific risks or events that are deemed too risky or are better covered by specialized insurance policies. Exclusions clarify what the insurance policy does not cover, helping insurers manage risks and set appropriate premiums based on covered perils. Policyholders should carefully review exclusions to understand potential gaps in coverage and consider obtaining additional insurance or endorsements to address excluded risks. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises consumers to seek clarification from their insurance agents or brokers regarding policy exclusions to ensure they have adequate coverage for their needs and circumstances. Question 40. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is typically considered by insurers when determining the premium for a homeowner's insurance policy in Idaho? A. The homeowner's educational background. B. The number of bedrooms in the home. C. The age and condition of the roof. D. The homeowner's political affiliation. Answer: C. The age and condition of the roof. Explanation: in Idaho, insurers typically consider the age and condition of the roof when determining the premium for homeowners' insurance policies. A newer roof in good condition is less likely to experience damage and therefore reduces the risk of insurance claims, leading to lower premiums. Conversely, an older or poorly maintained roof may increase the risk of claims due to leaks or wind damage, resulting in higher premiums or potential coverage limitations. Insurers assess various risk factors related to the property, such as roof age and condition, to accurately price policies and manage financial exposure. Homeowners in Idaho are advised to maintain their roofs and periodically assess their insurance coverage to ensure adequate protection. Question 41. Insurance claims handling. What is the purpose of a deductible in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. To limit the amount of coverage provided by the policy. B. To exclude coverage for specific risks or events. C. To transfer risk from the insured to the insurer. D. To require the insured to contribute toward the cost of a claim. Answer: D. To require the insured to contribute toward the cost of a claim. Explanation: in Idaho, a deductible in an insurance policy serves the purpose of requiring the insured to contribute toward the cost of a claim before the insurer pays the remaining amount. Deductibles help insurers manage claim costs and encourage policyholders to share in the financial responsibility for covered losses. High deductibles typically result in lower insurance premiums, while lower deductibles lead to higher premiums. Policyholders should select deductibles based on their financial situation and willingness to assume risk. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises consumers to review deductible options and consider their impact on premiums and out-of-pocket expenses when choosing insurance coverage. Question 42. Insurance industry trends and developments. What is a significant trend influencing casualty insurance in Idaho and across the United States? A. Decreased demand for liability coverage among businesses. B. Increased litigation costs related to auto insurance claims. C. Growing interest in self-insurance options among individuals. D. Rising concerns over cyber liability risks. Answer: D. Rising concerns over cyber liability risks. Explanation: a significant trend influencing casualty insurance in Idaho and nationwide is rising concerns over cyber liability risks. With increased reliance on digital technologies and data storage, businesses and individuals face growing threats from cyber attacks, data breaches, and privacy violations. Cyber liability insurance helps protect against financial losses and liabilities associated with these risks, including costs for data recovery, legal expenses, and regulatory fines. Insurers in Idaho are expanding cyber insurance offerings to meet the evolving needs of policyholders and mitigate the financial impact of cyber incidents. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises businesses to assess their cyber risk exposure and consider cyber liability insurance as part of their risk management strategy. Question 43. Workers' compensation insurance. In Idaho, what is the purpose of the exclusive remedy rule under workers' compensation laws? A. To limit the types of injuries covered by workers' compensation. B. To prevent employees from seeking legal action against their employers for workplace injuries. C. To require employers to provide disability benefits to injured employees. D. To establish minimum wage standards for injured employees. Answer: B. To prevent employees from seeking legal action against their employers for workplace injuries. Explanation: the exclusive remedy rule under workers' compensation laws in Idaho prevents employees from seeking legal action against their employers for workplace injuries covered by workers' compensation insurance. Instead of suing their employers, injured employees are entitled to receive benefits, including medical expenses and lost wages, regardless of fault, through the workers' compensation system. This rule aims to provide a streamlined process for compensating injured workers while protecting employers from costly litigation. The Idaho Industrial Commission oversees workers' compensation regulations and ensures compliance with the exclusive remedy rule to maintain fairness and efficiency in resolving workplace injury claims. Question 44. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of the endorsements section in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. To provide definitions of key insurance terms. B. To modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. C. To outline the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. D. To specify the insurance company's obligations to the insured. Answer: B. To modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. Explanation: the endorsements section in an insurance policy in Idaho serves the purpose of modifying the policy to include additional coverage or provisions beyond what is typically provided by the standard policy. Endorsements allow policyholders to customize their insurance coverage to meet specific needs or address unique risks not covered under the base policy. Common endorsements may include adding coverage for specific perils, increasing coverage limits, or changing policy terms to better suit the insured's circumstances. Policyholders are encouraged to review endorsements carefully with their insurance agents to understand how they affect coverage and ensure comprehensive protection against potential risks. Question 45. Casualty insurance policies. Which of the following scenarios illustrates the concept of indemnity in casualty insurance? A. An insured business pays for legal defense costs following a liability lawsuit. B. An insured individual receives compensation for medical expenses after a car accident. C. An insured property owner repairs damage caused by a fire covered under their insurance policy. D. An insured driver receives reimbursement for vehicle repairs after a hailstorm. Answer: C. An insured property owner repairs damage caused by a fire covered under their insurance policy. Explanation: indemnity in casualty insurance refers to the principle that insurance coverage is designed to restore the insured to the same financial position they were in before a covered loss occurred without gaining a profit. In the scenario where an insured property owner repairs damage caused by a fire covered under their insurance policy, the insurer reimburses the insured for the actual cost of repairs up to the policy limits to restore the property to its pre-loss condition. Indemnity ensures that the insured is compensated for their actual financial loss due to covered perils, maintaining the principle of fairness and preventing overcompensation. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises policyholders to understand the concept of indemnity and review their insurance policies to ensure adequate coverage for potential losses. Question 46. Insurance claims handling. What is the purpose of salvage in the insurance claims process in Idaho? A. To reimburse policyholders for damaged property. B. To investigate fraudulent claims. C. To recover value from damaged or destroyed property. D. To assess liability for a claim. Answer: C. To recover value from damaged or destroyed property. Explanation: in the insurance claims process in Idaho, salvage refers to the process of recovering value from damaged or destroyed property after a claim has been paid. Insurers may salvage property by selling salvageable parts or materials, which helps mitigate claim costs and reduce financial losses. Salvage plays a crucial role in maximizing recovery for insurers and preventing further losses through efficient handling of damaged assets. Policyholders should be aware of salvage considerations in their insurance policies and cooperate with insurers during the claims settlement process to facilitate salvage efforts as needed. Question 47. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is commonly evaluated by insurers during the underwriting process for life insurance policies in Idaho? A. The insured's credit score. B. The insured's occupation and income. C. The insured's vehicle type and mileage. D. The insured's marital status. Answer: B. The insured's occupation and income. Explanation: in Idaho, insurers commonly evaluate the insured's occupation and income during the underwriting process for life insurance policies. Occupation and income are key factors that insurers assess to determine the risk of insuring an individual and setting appropriate premium rates. Certain occupations with higher risks or physical demands may affect life insurance underwriting decisions, while income levels can influence the amount of coverage a policyholder qualifies for. Insurers use underwriting guidelines to analyze various factors, including occupation and income, to ensure that life insurance policies are priced accurately based on the insured's risk profile and financial circumstances. Question 48. Policy provisions and endorsements. What does the declarations page of an insurance policy in Idaho typically include? A. The insurer's promise to provide coverage. B. A list of covered perils and exclusions. C. Specific details about the insured property or individual. D. Legal terms and conditions of the policy. Answer: C. Specific details about the insured property or individual. Explanation: the declarations page of an insurance policy in Idaho typically includes specific details about the insured property or individual, such as the insured's name, address, policy period, insured property description for property insurance, policy limits, deductibles, and any applicable endorsements or riders. This page provides a summary of key information related to the insurance coverage and helps policyholders understand the scope and terms of their insurance policy. Insurers issue declarations pages to policyholders as part of their policy documentation and encourage policyholders to review this information carefully to ensure accuracy and clarity regarding their insurance coverage. Question 49. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does the Idaho Department of Insurance play in regulating the insurance industry within the state? A. Setting insurance premium rates for all insurance policies. B. Enforcing state-specific insurance laws and regulations. C. Providing financial assistance to insurance policyholders. D. Managing insurance claims for all insurers operating in Idaho. Answer: B. Enforcing state-specific insurance laws and regulations. Explanation: the Idaho Department of Insurance plays a crucial role in regulating the insurance industry within the state by enforcing state-specific insurance laws and regulations. This includes overseeing insurance company operations, licensing insurance producers, reviewing insurance policy forms, and ensuring compliance with consumer protection standards. The department works to maintain a fair and competitive insurance marketplace in Idaho, safeguarding consumer interests and promoting industry transparency. Policyholders and insurance professionals are encouraged to contact the Idaho Department of Insurance for information, assistance, and guidance on insurance-related matters. Question 50. Insurance contracts. What is the significance of offer and acceptance in the formation of an insurance contract in Idaho? A. It establishes the insured's obligation to pay the premium. B. It confirms the insurer's promise to provide coverage. C. It defines the terms and conditions of the insurance policy. D. It signifies mutual agreement between the insured and insurer. Answer: D. It signifies mutual agreement between the insured and insurer. Explanation: in Idaho, offer and acceptance in the formation of an insurance contract signifies mutual agreement between the insured policyholder and insurer regarding the terms and conditions of the insurance policy. Offer and acceptance occur when the insured applies for coverage offer and the insurer approves the application and issues the policy acceptance. This mutual agreement forms the basis of the insurance contract, outlining each party's rights, responsibilities, coverage limits, and exclusions. Understanding offer and acceptance is essential for policyholders to recognize when their coverage begins and the obligations they have under the insurance contract. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of clear communication and transparency in insurance contract formation to avoid misunderstandings and ensure compliance with legal requirements. Question 51. Insurance industry trends and developments. What impact does emerging technology have on the insurance industry in Idaho and across the United States? A. Decreased efficiency in claims processing and customer service. B. Increased complexity in insurance policy terms and conditions. C. Enhanced risk assessment and underwriting capabilities. D. Reduced availability of insurance products and coverage options. Answer: C. Enhanced risk assessment and underwriting capabilities. Explanation: emerging technology has a significant impact on the insurance industry in Idaho and nationwide by enhancing risk assessment and underwriting capabilities. Advanced analytics, artificial intelligence (AI), and predictive modeling allow insurers to analyze vast amounts of data more efficiently, assess risks more accurately, and personalize insurance products to better meet policyholders' needs. Technology-driven innovations also improve claims processing efficiency, customer service interactions, and fraud detection capabilities, benefiting both insurers and policyholders. The Idaho Department of Insurance encourages insurers to leverage emerging technologies responsibly to improve operational efficiency, enhance customer experiences, and maintain competitiveness in the evolving insurance marketplace. Question 52. Casualty insurance. What is a key feature of liability insurance policies in Idaho? A. Coverage for intentional acts by the insured. B. Exclusion of legal defense costs. C. Coverage for property damage only. D. Coverage for bodily injury and property damage caused by the insured. Answer: D. Coverage for bodily injury and property damage caused by the insured. Explanation: a key feature of liability insurance policies in Idaho is coverage for bodily injury and property damage caused by the insured. Liability insurance protects policyholders from financial losses resulting from legal claims and lawsuits alleging negligence or misconduct that led to bodily injury or property damage to others. The policy typically covers legal defense costs, settlement amounts, and judgments up to the policy limits. Understanding the scope of coverage under liability insurance helps policyholders mitigate financial risks associated with potential liability claims. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises businesses and individuals to review their liability insurance policies carefully to ensure adequate protection against liability exposures. Question 53. Insurance policy analysis. What role does the conditions section play in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. It outlines specific coverage limits and exclusions. B. It specifies the insurer's obligations in the event of a claim. C. It defines the insured's responsibilities and duties. D. It provides definitions of key insurance terms. Answer: C. It defines the insured's responsibilities and duties. Explanation: in an insurance policy in Idaho, the conditions section defines the insured's responsibilities and duties in relation to the insurance coverage. Conditions typically include requirements such as prompt notification of claims, cooperation with the insurer's investigation, and mitigation of losses to the extent possible. Adhering to these conditions is essential for policyholders to fulfill their obligations under the insurance contract and maintain eligibility for coverage. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of understanding and complying with policy conditions to ensure smooth claims processing and maximize benefits under the insurance policy. Question 54. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical obligation do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding conflicts of interest? A. They must prioritize their personal financial interests over those of clients. B. They must disclose potential conflicts of interest to clients. C. They are not required to disclose commissions received from insurers. D. They can recommend insurance products without considering client needs. Answer: B. They must disclose potential conflicts of interest to clients. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical obligation to disclose potential conflicts of interest to clients. A conflict of interest occurs when an agent or broker's personal interests or relationships could influence their professional judgment or advice given to clients. By disclosing conflicts of interest, agents and brokers enable clients to make informed decisions and mitigate the risk of biased recommendations. Transparency in disclosing conflicts of interest fosters trust between insurance professionals and clients, promoting ethical conduct and ensuring that client needs are prioritized. The Idaho Department of Insurance encourages agents and brokers to uphold ethical standards and maintain integrity in their client relationships. Question 55. Insurance claims handling. What is the purpose of subrogation in the insurance claims process in Idaho? A. To determine the cause of the loss or damage. B. To investigate fraudulent claims. C. To recover costs from responsible third parties. D. To assess the extent of coverage for a claim. Answer: C. To recover costs from responsible third parties. Explanation: in Idaho, subrogation in the insurance claims process refers to the insurer's right to recover costs incurred from responsible third parties after compensating the insured for a covered loss. Subrogation allows insurers to recover funds paid to policyholders when another party is legally liable for the damages. This process helps insurers mitigate claim costs and prevent double recovery by the insured for the same loss. Understanding subrogation rights and procedures is essential for insurers and policyholders to navigate claims efficiently and ensure fair resolution of insurance claims in accordance with Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 56. Workers' compensation insurance. What role does loss control play in workers' compensation insurance in Idaho? A. It involves investigating fraudulent claims by injured workers. B. It focuses on reducing workplace injuries and accidents. C. It determines the amount of disability benefits for injured employees. D. It manages legal disputes between employers and injured workers. Answer: B. It focuses on reducing workplace injuries and accidents. Explanation: in Idaho, loss control in workers' compensation insurance focuses on preventing and minimizing workplace injuries and accidents. Loss control measures include safety inspections, risk assessments, employee training programs, and implementation of safety protocols to create a safer work environment. By proactively addressing workplace hazards and promoting safety practices, employers can reduce the frequency and severity of injuries, thereby lowering workers' compensation claims and related costs. The Idaho Industrial Commission emphasizes the importance of effective loss control strategies in enhancing workplace safety, protecting employees' well-being, and ensuring compliance with workers' compensation regulations. Question 57. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibility do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client confidentiality? A. They must share client information with other insurers upon request. B. They can use client information for marketing purposes without consent. C. They must handle client information confidentially and responsibly. D. They are exempt from disclosing client information to third parties. Answer: C. They must handle client information confidentially and responsibly. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical responsibility to handle client information confidentially and responsibly. This includes safeguarding sensitive personal and financial information provided by clients during the insurance application and claims processes. Agents and brokers are prohibited from disclosing client information to third parties without consent, except as required by law or regulation. Maintaining client confidentiality helps build trust between agents and their clients and ensures compliance with privacy laws and ethical standards in the insurance industry. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of protecting client information to uphold consumer trust and privacy rights. Question 58. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of endorsements in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. To exclude coverage for specific risks or events. B. To modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. C. To specify the insurance company's obligations to the insured. D. To define the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. Answer: B. To modify the policy to include additional coverage or provisions. Explanation: in Idaho, endorsements in an insurance policy serve the purpose of modifying the policy to include additional coverage or provisions beyond what is provided by the standard policy. Endorsements allow policyholders to customize their insurance coverage to meet specific needs or address unique risks that may not be covered under the base policy. Common endorsements include adding coverage for additional perils, increasing coverage limits, or changing policy terms to better suit the insured's circumstances. Policyholders should review endorsements carefully with their insurance agents to understand how they impact coverage and ensure comprehensive protection against potential risks. Question 59. Insurance underwriting. Which of the following factors is typically considered by insurers during the underwriting process for auto insurance policies in Idaho? A. The insured's credit score. B. The insured's gender and marital status. C. The insured vehicle's make, model, and year. D. The insured's medical history. Answer: C. The insured vehicle's make, model, and year. Explanation: in Idaho, insurers typically consider factors such as the insured vehicle's make, model, and year during the underwriting process for auto insurance policies. These factors help insurers assess the risk associated with insuring the vehicle, including its safety features, likelihood of theft, and repair costs. Vehicle-specific underwriting criteria influence premium rates and coverage options offered to policyholders. Insurers use underwriting guidelines and rating factors to evaluate vehicle-related risks accurately and determine appropriate insurance premiums based on the insured vehicle's characteristics. Policyholders in Idaho are encouraged to provide accurate vehicle information and explore available discounts to optimize their auto insurance coverage. Question 60. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do advancements in technology impact the claims handling process in the property insurance sector in Idaho? A. They reduce the need for policyholders to file claims. B. They increase the complexity of insurance policy terms. C. They streamline claims processing and improve efficiency. D. They decrease the availability of insurance coverage options. Answer: C. They streamline claims processing and improve efficiency. Explanation: advancements in technology impact the claims handling process in the property insurance sector in Idaho by streamlining claims processing and improving efficiency. Technologies such as digital claim submissions, automated data processing, and virtual inspections enable insurers to handle claims more quickly and accurately. These advancements reduce administrative burdens, minimize claims processing times, and enhance customer satisfaction by providing faster claim resolutions. Insurers in Idaho leverage technology to improve claims management practices, maintain service quality, and adapt to evolving customer expectations in the digital age. Policyholders benefit from faster claims settlements and improved communication throughout the claims handling process. Question 61. Insurance contracts. What role does a consideration play in the formation of an insurance contract in Idaho? A. It refers to the insured's obligation to pay the premium. B. It signifies mutual agreement between the insured and insurer. C. It outlines the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. D. It defines the insurer's obligations to provide coverage. Answer: A. It refers to the insured's obligation to pay the premium. Explanation: in Idaho, a consideration in the formation of an insurance contract refers to the insured's obligation to pay the premium in exchange for the insurer's promise to provide coverage. Consideration is a fundamental element of a legally binding contract and ensures that both parties exchange something of value. The insured's payment of the premium represents their part of the consideration, while the insurer's promise to cover specified risks constitutes the insurer's consideration. Understanding consideration helps policyholders recognize their financial commitment under the insurance contract and their entitlement to coverage under specified terms and conditions. Question 62. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the role of producer licensing requirements in Idaho's insurance regulatory framework? A. To set insurance premium rates for all policies issued in the state. B. To oversee the insurance claims handling process for all insurers. C. To ensure insurance producers meet competency and ethical standards. D. To provide financial assistance to insurance policyholders in need. Answer: C. To ensure insurance producers meet competency and ethical standards. Explanation: in Idaho, producer licensing requirements play a crucial role in the state's insurance regulatory framework by ensuring that insurance producers, agents, and brokers meet competency and ethical standards to sell insurance products and services. Licensing requirements include education, examination, and ongoing continuing education to maintain knowledge of insurance laws and regulations. By licensing producers, the Idaho Department of Insurance aims to protect consumers from unethical practices, ensure industry professionalism, and promote consumer confidence in the insurance marketplace. Consumers are encouraged to verify the licensing status of insurance producers and report any concerns to the Idaho Department of Insurance for investigation. Question 63. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibility do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client disclosures? A. They are not required to disclose potential conflicts of interest to clients. B. They must disclose their commissions earned from insurance policies. C. They can share client information with other insurers without consent. D. They must prioritize their personal interests over those of clients. Answer: B. They must disclose their commissions earned from insurance policies. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical responsibility to disclose their commissions earned from insurance policies to clients. This disclosure helps clients understand the financial incentives agents and brokers may have when recommending insurance products. By disclosing commissions, agents and brokers promote transparency in their business practices and allow clients to make informed decisions based on complete information about costs and compensation. The Idaho Department of Insurance encourages agents and brokers to uphold ethical standards, maintain integrity in client relationships, and prioritize client interests when providing insurance advice and services. Question 64. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of the insuring agreement in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. To outline specific coverage limits and exclusions. B. To define the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. C. To specify the insurance company's obligations to the insured. D. To summarize the key terms and conditions of the policy. Answer: C. To specify the insurance company's obligations to the insured. Explanation: in Idaho, the insuring agreement in an insurance policy specifies the insurance company's obligations to the insured regarding coverage for specific risks or perils. This section outlines the scope of coverage provided under the policy, including what types of losses are covered, under what conditions, and to what extent. The insuring agreement forms the core promise of the insurance contract, defining the insurer's responsibilities to indemnify the insured against covered losses. Policyholders should review the insuring agreement carefully to understand the terms and conditions of their insurance coverage and ensure it aligns with their needs and expectations. Question 65. Underwriting considerations. Which factor is typically evaluated by insurers during the underwriting process for homeowners insurance policies in Idaho? A. The insured's driving record. B. The insured property's location and construction. C. The insured's health history. D. The insured's credit score. Answer: B. The insured property's location and construction. Explanation: in Idaho, insurers typically evaluate the insured property's location and construction during the underwriting process for homeowners insurance policies. These factors help insurers assess the risk associated with insuring the property, including exposure to natural disasters, crime rates in the area, and the property's vulnerability to damage. Insurers use underwriting guidelines to analyze property-specific risks accurately and determine appropriate coverage options and premium rates based on the insured property's characteristics. Homeowners in Idaho are encouraged to provide accurate property information and explore available discounts to optimize their homeowners insurance coverage. Question 66. Insurance claims. What is the significance of deductibles in property insurance policies in Idaho? A. They establish the insurer's obligation to pay covered losses. B. They limit the types of perils covered by the policy. C. They define the insured's responsibilities in case of a claim. D. They require the insured to share the cost of covered losses. Answer: D. They require the insured to share the cost of covered losses. Explanation. In Idaho, deductibles in property insurance policies require the insured to share the cost of covered losses before the insurer begins to pay benefits. Deductibles help insurers manage risk and reduce premiums by shifting a portion of the financial responsibility for losses to policyholders. Policyholders select deductible amounts based on their financial ability to absorb potential losses and their preferences for premium costs versus out-of-pocket expenses. Understanding deductibles is essential for policyholders to anticipate their financial obligations in the event of a claim and to make informed decisions about their insurance coverage options. The Idaho Department of Insurance encourages policyholders to review deductible options and discuss their implications with insurance agents to ensure suitable protection against property-related risks. Question 67. Casualty insurance. In Idaho, what is a common exclusion in auto insurance policies? A. Coverage for theft of personal belongings from the vehicle. B. Coverage for bodily injury caused by uninsured motorists. C. Coverage for damage resulting from intentional acts by the insured. D. Coverage for medical expenses of passengers in the insured vehicle. Answer. C. Coverage for damage resulting from intentional acts by the insured. Explanation. In Idaho, auto insurance policies commonly exclude coverage for damage resulting from intentional acts by the insured. This exclusion helps insurers manage risks associated with deliberate actions that may lead to vehicle damage or loss. Policyholders should review policy exclusions carefully to understand situations where coverage may not apply and consider additional coverage options as needed. The Idaho Department of Insurance advises consumers to discuss policy terms and exclusions with insurance agents to ensure comprehensive understanding and adequate protection against potential risks. Question 68. Insurance underwriting. What is the role of risk assessment in the underwriting process for commercial property insurance in Idaho? A. To determine the insured property's market value. B. To evaluate the insured's creditworthiness. C. To assess potential hazards and perils related to the property. D. To calculate the insured's premium payment schedule. Answer. C. To assess potential hazards and perils related to the property. Explanation. In Idaho, risk assessment in the underwriting process for commercial property insurance involves evaluating potential hazards and perils related to the insured property. Insurers assess factors such as the property's location, construction materials, occupancy type, and exposure to natural disasters or other risks. Risk assessment helps insurers accurately price premiums based on the property's risk profile and determine appropriate coverage limits and endorsements. Commercial property owners in Idaho should collaborate with insurance professionals to conduct thorough risk assessments and implement risk management strategies to mitigate potential losses and ensure adequate insurance coverage. Question 69. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do regulatory changes impact insurance practices in Idaho? A. They decrease consumer protection standards. B. They restrict insurance product innovation. C. They update compliance requirements for insurers. D. They increase insurance premium rates. Answer. C. They update compliance requirements for insurers. Explanation. Regulatory changes in Idaho impact insurance practices by updating compliance requirements for insurers to ensure adherence to state-specific laws and regulations. These changes may include new reporting requirements, licensing updates, consumer protection standards, and operational guidelines that insurers must follow. Regulatory updates aim to enhance transparency, strengthen consumer rights, and promote fair practices within the insurance industry. Insurers operating in Idaho are responsible for staying informed about regulatory changes and adjusting their practices to comply with evolving legal and regulatory frameworks. The Idaho Department of Insurance provides guidance and support to insurers and consumers regarding regulatory compliance and industry best practices. Question 70. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of endorsements ECA commercial property insurance policy in Idaho? A. To exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. B. To modify the policy terms and conditions. C. To determine the insured property's market value. D. To assess the insured's financial responsibility. Answer. B. To modify the policy terms and conditions. Explanation. In Idaho, endorsements in a commercial property insurance policy serve the purpose of modifying the policy terms and conditions to meet the specific needs of the insured. Endorsements and remove or alter coverage options, exclusions, limits, or deductibles beyond what is provided in the standard policy. This customization allows businesses to tailor their insurance coverage to address unique risks or changes in their operations. Policyholders should review endorsements with their insurance agents to understand how modifications impact coverage and ensure comprehensive protection against potential losses. Question 71. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does the Idaho Department of Insurance play in regulating insurance rates? A. Setting uniform premium rates for all insurers. B. Reviewing and approving insurance policy forms. C. Investigating claims of insurance fraud. D. Establishing guidelines for claims settlement practices. Answer. B. Reviewing and approving insurance policy forms. Explanation. In Idaho, the Idaho Department of Insurance plays a key role in regulating insurance rates by reviewing and approving insurance policy forms. Insurers must submit policy forms to the department for review to ensure compliance with state-specific laws, regulations, and consumer protection standards. The department evaluates policy forms to verify that they provide clear and accurate information to policyholders and meet legal requirements. By regulating policy forms, the Idaho Department of Insurance aims to promote transparency, prevent deceptive practices, and maintain a fair insurance marketplace for consumers and insurers alike. Question 72. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical obligation do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client recommendations? A. They must prioritize their personal interests over client needs. B. They can recommend insurance products without considering client circumstances. C. They must recommend insurance products suitable for client needs. D. They are exempt from disclosing potential conflicts of interest. Answer. C. They must recommend insurance products suitable for client needs. Explanation. In Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical obligation to recommend insurance products that are suitable for client needs based on the client's circumstances and preferences. This obligation requires agents and brokers to assess the client's risk exposure, financial situation, and coverage requirements before making recommendations. By recommending suitable insurance products, agents and brokers help clients make informed decisions that align with their insurance goals and provide adequate protection against potential risks. The Idaho Department of Insurance emphasizes the importance of ethical conduct and professionalism in client interactions to maintain trust and integrity within the insurance industry. Question 73. Insurance claims. What is the significance of actual cash value in property insurance policies in Idaho? A. It determines the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. It calculates the insured property's market appreciation. C. It estimates the replacement cost of damaged property. D. It assesses the insurer's liability for covered losses. Answer. C. It estimates the replacement cost of damaged property. Explanation. In Idaho, actual cash value in property insurance policies refers to the estimated replacement cost of damage to a lost property at the time of the loss. Considering depreciation, it is calculated by subtracting depreciation from the replacement cost of the property. Actual cash value is used to determine the amount of reimbursement an insured receives for a covered loss, taking into account the property's age, condition, and market value. Policyholders should understand how actual cash value affects their insurance claims and consider options to enhance coverage, such as replacement cost coverage to minimize out-of-pocket expenses in case of property damage or loss. Question 74. Workers' compensation insurance. What is the purpose of exclusive remedy in workers' compensation laws in Idaho? A. To limit the types of injuries covered by workers' compensation. B. To establish a framework for resolving disputes between employers and employees. C. To prevent injured employees from filing lawsuits against their employers. D. To determine the amount of disability benefits for injured workers. Answer. C. To prevent injured employees from filing lawsuits against their employers. Explanation. In Idaho, the concept of exclusive remedy in workers' compensation laws prevents injured employees from filing lawsuits against their employers for work-related injuries or illnesses. Instead, workers' compensation insurance provides a no-fault system where injured employees receive medical care and compensation for lost wages regardless of fault. In exchange for these benefits, employees forfeit their right to sue their employers for negligence except in cases involving intentional harm or gross misconduct. The exclusive remedy provision aims to streamline the claims process, protect employers from costly lawsuits, and ensure injured workers receive timely benefits under the workers' compensation system. Question 75. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do emerging risks and exposures impact insurance underwriting practices in Idaho? A. They decrease the availability of insurance coverage options. B. They increase insurers' reliance on historical data. C. They necessitate adjustments to risk assessment methods. D. They lead to standardized insurance policy forms. Answer. C. They necessitate adjustments to risk assessment methods. Explanation. Emerging risks and exposures impact insurance underwriting practices in Idaho by necessitating adjustments to risk assessment methods used by insurers. Emerging risks, such as cybersecurity threats, climate change, and technological advancements, introduce new challenges and uncertainties that require insurers to adapt their underwriting guidelines and rating factors. Insurers may incorporate predictive modeling, data analytics, and scenario analysis to assess and manage emerging risks effectively. By adjusting risk assessment methods, insurers can accurately evaluate and price risks associated with new exposures and ensure sustainable insurance coverage options for policyholders. Policyholders in Idaho are encouraged to stay informed about emerging risks and collaborate with insurers to address evolving insurance needs and challenges. Question 76. Insurance contracts. What is the significance of conditions in an insurance policy in Idaho? A. They outline the insured's responsibilities after a claim occurs. B. They specify the types of perils covered by the policy. C. They determine the insured's premium payment schedule. D. They establish the insurer's liability limits. Answer A. They outline the insured's responsibilities after a claim occurs. Explanation. In Idaho, conditions in an insurance policy outline the insured's responsibilities and obligations after a claim occurs. These conditions include requirements such as notifying the insurer promptly after loss, cooperating in the investigation of a claim, and mitigating further damage to insured property. Compliance with policy conditions is crucial for policyholders to ensure coverage under the terms of the insurance contract. Understanding policy conditions helps policyholders navigate the claims process effectively and fulfill their obligations to maintain coverage under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 77. Casualty insurance. How do liability limits impact the coverage provided by a commercial general liability (CGL) insurance policy in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They establish the maximum amount the insurer will pay for covered claims. C. They exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. D. They assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer. B. They establish the maximum amount the insurer will pay for covered claims. Explanation. In Idaho, liability limits in a commercial general liability (CGL) insurance policy establish the maximum amount the insurer will pay for covered claims arising from bodily injury, property damage, or personal and advertising injury. Policyholders select liability limits based on their business's risk exposure and financial considerations. Higher liability limits provide greater protection but may result in higher premiums. Understanding liability limits helps policyholders determine appropriate coverage levels to mitigate potential financial risks associated with liability claims. Businesses in Idaho should review liability limits periodically with their insurance agents to ensure adequate protection against liabilities arising from their operations. Question 78. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical obligation do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client disclosure of policy terms? A. They must disclose all policy exclusions and limitations to clients. B. They can withhold information about coverage options from clients. C. They must disclose their personal financial interests in policy recommendations. D. They are exempt from disclosing policy terms to clients. Answer A. They must disclose all policy exclusions and limitations to clients. Explanation. In Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical obligation to disclose all policy exclusions and limitations to clients to ensure transparency and informed decision-making. Clients rely on agents and brokers to provide comprehensive information about coverage options, exclusions, deductibles, and limitations that may affect their insurance protection. Full disclosure helps clients understand the scope of coverage provided under the policy and any potential gaps or restrictions that may apply. Agents and brokers should prioritize client education and provide clear explanations of policy terms to help clients make informed choices and select insurance solutions that best meet their needs. Maintaining ethical standards in client interactions strengthens trust and promotes positive relationships within the insurance industry in Idaho. Question 79. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of a subrogation in property insurance policies in Idaho? A. To exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. B. To transfer the insured's right to legal action to the insurer. C. To determine the insured's premium payment schedule. D. To assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer: B. To transfer the insured's right to legal action to the insurer. Explanation: in Idaho, subrogation in property insurance policies refers to the insurer's right to pursue legal action against third parties responsible for causing a loss that the insurer has compensated the insured for. Subrogation allows the insurer to recover the amount paid to the insured by seeking reimbursement from the party at fault. By transferring the insured's right to legal action to the insurer, subrogation helps prevent double recovery and supports the principle of indemnity in insurance. Policyholders should cooperate with insurers during subrogation processes to facilitate recovery efforts and protect their insurance rights under Idaho's regulatory framework. Question 80. State insurance laws and regulations. What role does the Idaho Department of Insurance play in regulating insurance producers, agents, and brokers? A. Setting insurance premium rates for all policies issued in the state. B. Ensuring insurance producers comply with licensing and ethical standards. C. Investigating and evaluating insurance claims for fairness and accuracy. D. Providing financial assistance to insurance policyholders in need. Answer: B. Ensuring insurance producers comply with licensing and ethical standards. Explanation: in Idaho, the Idaho Department of Insurance plays a crucial role in regulating insurance producers, agents, and brokers by ensuring they comply with licensing, competency, and ethical standards. The department oversees producer licensing, continuing education requirements, and adherence to state-specific laws and regulations governing insurance transactions. By regulating insurance producers, the Idaho Department of Insurance aims to protect consumers from unethical practices, promote industry professionalism, and maintain a fair and competitive insurance marketplace. Consumers are encouraged to verify the licensing status of insurance producers and report any concerns to the department for investigation and resolution. Question 81. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibility do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client confidentiality? A. They must share client information with other insurers without consent. B. They can use client information for personal financial gain. C. They must protect the confidentiality of client information. D. They are exempt from disclosing conflicts of interest to clients. Answer: C. They must protect the confidentiality of client information. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical responsibility to protect the confidentiality of client information obtained during the course of their business activities. This obligation includes safeguarding sensitive personal and financial information provided by clients to ensure privacy and prevent unauthorized access or disclosure. Agents and brokers should use client information only for legitimate insurance purposes and refrain from sharing confidential details with third parties without client consent, except as required by law or regulation. Upholding client confidentiality promotes trust, enhances professional integrity, and demonstrates respect for client privacy rights within the insurance industry in Idaho. Question 82. Insurance claims. What is the role of salvage and property insurance claims handling in Idaho? A. It determines the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. It assesses the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. C. It involves the sale of damaged property to reduce insurer losses. D. It evaluates the replacement cost of damaged property. Answer: C. It involves the sale of damaged property to reduce insurer losses. Explanation: In Idaho, salvage in property insurance claims handling refers to the process of selling damaged or recovered property to reduce insurer losses after a claim has been settled. Insurers may salvage damaged property to recover some of the claim payments made to policyholders, thereby mitigating financial losses. Salvage activities may include selling salvageable parts, materials, or entire items through auctions or salvage yards. Policyholders should cooperate with insurers during salvage processes to facilitate property inspections, evaluations, and disposition decisions in compliance with Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 83. Workers' compensation insurance. What is the purpose of residual market mechanisms in Idaho's workers' compensation system? A. To exclude high-risk employers from obtaining coverage. B. To provide insurance coverage for employers unable to obtain it in the standard market. C. To limit the types of injuries covered by workers' compensation. D. To determine the amount of disability benefits for injured workers. Answer. B. To provide insurance coverage for employers unable to obtain it in the standard market. Explanation. In Idaho, residual market mechanisms in the workers' compensation system provide insurance coverage for employers who are unable to obtain coverage in the standard insurance market due to high-risk factors or other reasons. Residual market mechanisms, such as assigned risk pools or state-run insurance funds, ensure that all employers have access to workers' compensation coverage, regardless of their risk profile or industry classification. These mechanisms help maintain a stable insurance market, protect workers' rights, and support economic stability by ensuring that injured employees receive necessary benefits under Idaho's workers' compensation laws. Question 84. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do technological advancements impact insurance claims handling practices in Idaho? A. They decrease the efficiency of claims processing. B. They reduce the accuracy of claims assessments. C. They streamline claims reporting and settlement procedures. D. They increase manual intervention in claims handling. Answer. C. They streamline claims reporting and settlement procedures. Explanation. Technological advancements impact insurance claims handling practices in Idaho by streamlining claims reporting and settlement procedures through automation, digital platforms, and data analytics. Insurers leverage technology to enhance claims processing efficiency, reduce turnaround times, and improve accuracy in claims assessments. Technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, and mobile applications enable insurers to automate claims intake, expedite claims evaluation, and provide real-time updates to policyholders. By embracing technological advancements, insurers in Idaho can enhance customer service, optimize operational workflows, and adapt to evolving insurance industry trends and consumer expectations. Question 85. Insurance underwriting. What factors do insurers consider when assessing risk for commercial property insurance in Idaho? A. The insured's driving record and credit score. B. The insured property's location, construction, and occupancy. C. The insured's health history and financial status. D. The insured's compliance with state insurance laws. Answer. B. The insured property's location, construction, and occupancy. Explanation. In Idaho, insurers assess risk for commercial property insurance based on factors such as the insured property's location, construction materials, and occupancy type. These factors help insurers evaluate potential hazards, exposure to risks, and vulnerability to losses that could impact the insured property. Insurers use underwriting guidelines to analyze these factors and determine appropriate coverage options, premiums, and risk mitigation strategies for commercial property owners. Understanding risk assessment criteria is essential for policyholders to ensure adequate insurance protection and minimize financial exposure to property-related risks in Idaho. Question 86. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the role of the Idaho Department of Insurance in protecting consumer interests? A. Setting insurance premium rates for all policies issued in the state. B. Reviewing and approving insurance policy forms and rates. C. Investigating and evaluating insurance claims for fairness and accuracy. D. Providing financial assistance to insurance policyholders in need. Answer. B. Reviewing and approving insurance policy forms and rates. Explanation. In Idaho, the Idaho Department of Insurance plays a critical role in protecting consumer interests by reviewing and approving insurance policy forms and rates. The department ensures that insurance policies comply with state-specific laws, regulations, and consumer protection standards. By reviewing policy forms and rates, the department aims to promote transparency, prevent deceptive practices, and maintain a fair insurance marketplace for consumers and insurers alike. Consumers can rely on the department's oversight to access reliable insurance products and make informed decisions about their insurance needs in Idaho. Question 87. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibility do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client recommendations? A. They must prioritize their personal interests over client needs. B. They can recommend insurance products without considering client circumstances. C. They must recommend insurance products suitable for client needs. D. They are exempt from disclosing potential conflicts of interest. Answer. C. They must recommend insurance products suitable for client needs. Explanation. In Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical responsibility to recommend insurance products that are suitable for client needs based on the client's circumstances, risk exposure, and coverage requirements. This ethical obligation requires agents and brokers to assess the client's insurance needs comprehensively and provide recommendations that align with the client's best interests. By recommending suitable insurance products, agents and brokers help clients make informed decisions and obtain adequate insurance coverage to protect against potential risks. Upholding ethical standards in client interactions fosters trust, promotes professionalism, and strengthens client-agent relationships within the insurance industry in Idaho. Question 88. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of endorsements in homeowners insurance policies in Idaho? A. To exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. B. To modify the policy terms and conditions. C. To determine the insured property's market value. D. To assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer. B. To modify the policy terms and conditions. Explanation. In Idaho, endorsements in homeowners insurance policies serve the purpose of modifying the policy terms and conditions to meet the specific needs of the insured. Endorsements can add, remove, or alter coverage options, exclusions, limits, or deductibles beyond what is provided in the standard policy. This customization allows homeowners to tailor their insurance coverage to address unique risks or changes in their property or personal circumstances. Policyholders should review endorsements with their insurance agents to understand how modifications impact coverage and ensure comprehensive protection against potential losses. Question 89. Casualty insurance. How do policy provisions differ between liability insurance and auto insurance in Idaho? A. Liability insurance covers bodily injury and property damage. B. Auto insurance includes coverage for medical payments. C. Liability insurance excludes coverage for intentional acts. D. Auto insurance provides coverage for theft and vandalism. Answer. C. Liability insurance excludes coverage for intentional acts. Explanation. In Idaho, policy provisions differ between liability insurance and auto insurance regarding coverage for intentional acts. Liability insurance typically excludes coverage for bodily injury or property damage resulting from intentional acts committed by the insured. This exclusion aims to prevent insurance coverage from extending to deliberate actions that cause harm or loss to others. Auto insurance policies, on the other hand, may include coverage for theft, vandalism, collision, and comprehensive damage to the insured vehicle depending on the policy terms and endorsements selected by the policyholder. Understanding policy provisions helps insured individuals select appropriate coverage options and ensure compliance with Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 90. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do regulatory changes impact insurance product innovation in Idaho? A. They restrict insurers from offering new coverage options. B. They increase the cost of insurance premiums. C. They encourage insurers to develop new insurance products. D. They standardize insurance policy forms and conditions. Answer. C. They encourage insurers to develop new insurance products. Explanation. Regulatory changes in Idaho impact insurance product innovation by encouraging insurers to develop new insurance products that align with updated regulatory requirements and consumer needs. Regulatory updates may introduce opportunities for insurers to enhance coverage options, introduce innovative policy features, and address emerging risks or market demands. By adapting to regulatory changes, insurers can enhance product offerings, improve market competitiveness, and meet evolving consumer expectations in Idaho's insurance marketplace. Consumers benefit from regulatory changes that promote innovation by gaining access to enhanced insurance solutions tailored to their unique risks and coverage preferences. Question 91. Insurance claims. What role does deductible play in property insurance claims in Idaho? A. It determines the insured's responsibility for a portion of the loss. B. It assesses the insurer's liability for covered losses. C. It determines the insured property's market value. D. It evaluates the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer A. It determines the insured's responsibility for a portion of the loss. Explanation. In Idaho, deductible in property insurance claims represents the amount of loss that the insured must bear before the insurer begins to pay for covered damages. The deductible amount is typically subtracted from the total claim payment made by the insurer. Policyholders select deductibles based on their risk tolerance and financial capability to cover potential losses. Higher deductibles may lower insurance premiums, but require policyholders to pay more out of pocket in the event of a claim. Understanding deductibles helps policyholders manage insurance costs and make informed decisions about coverage options under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 92. Insurance underwriting. How do underwriting guidelines influence the issuance of commercial liability insurance policies in Idaho? A. They establish the maximum amount the insurer will pay for covered claims. B. They determine the insured's premium payment schedule. C. They assess the insured's risk profile and coverage eligibility. D. They exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. Answer. C. They assess the insured's risk profile and coverage eligibility. Explanation. In Idaho, underwriting guidelines play a crucial role in assessing the insured's risk profile and determining eligibility for commercial liability insurance policies. Insurers use underwriting criteria such as the insured's business operations, industry classification, claims history, and risk management practices to evaluate potential exposures and financial stability. By applying underwriting guidelines, insurers can determine appropriate coverage options, premium rates, and policy terms tailored to the insured's specific risk characteristics. Policyholders should collaborate with insurers to provide accurate information and ensure compliance with underwriting requirements under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 93. State insurance laws and regulations. What is the purpose of producer licensing requirements in Idaho's insurance industry? A. To set insurance premium rates for all policies issued in the state. B. To ensure insurance producers comply with ethical standards. C. To investigate and evaluate insurance claims for fairness and accuracy. D. To verify the competency and qualifications of insurance producers. Answer. D. To verify the competency and qualifications of insurance producers. Explanation. In Idaho, producer licensing requirements serve the purpose of verifying the competency, qualifications, and ethical standards of insurance producers, agents, and brokers operating within the state. The Idaho Department of Insurance oversees producer licensing to ensure that individuals and entities engaged in insurance transactions meet educational, examination, and continuing education requirements. Licensing requirements aim to protect consumers from unqualified or unethical practices, promote professionalism within the insurance industry, and uphold regulatory standards for fair and transparent insurance transactions in Idaho. Consumers can verify the licensing status of insurance producers through the department's online resources to make informed decisions about insurance purchases and services. Question 94. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of insuring agreements in liability insurance policies in Idaho? A. To determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. To outline the insured's obligations after a claim occurs. C. To specify the types of perils covered by the policy. D. To establish the scope of coverage provided by the insurer. Answer. D. To establish the scope of coverage provided by the insurer. Explanation. In Idaho, insuring agreements in liability insurance policies serve the purpose of establishing the scope of coverage provided by the insurer for specified risks or perils. Insuring agreements outline the insurer's contractual obligations to indemnify the insured against covered losses, subject to policy terms, conditions, and exclusions. By defining the scope of coverage, insuring agreements help insured individuals or businesses understand the extent of protection available under their liability insurance policies. Policyholders should review insuring agreements carefully to ensure alignment with their insurance needs and risk management strategies under Idaho's regulatory framework. Question 95. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical obligations do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client disclosure of policy terms? A. They must disclose all policy exclusions and limitations to clients. B. They can withhold information about coverage options from clients. C. They must disclose their personal financial interests in policy recommendations. D. They are exempt from disclosing policy terms to clients. Answer A. They must disclose all policy exclusions and limitations to clients. Explanation. In Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical obligation to disclose all policy exclusions and limitations to clients to ensure transparency and informed decision-making. Clients rely on agents and brokers to provide comprehensive information about coverage options, exclusions, deductibles, and limitations that may affect their insurance protection. Full disclosure helps clients understand the scope of coverage provided under the policy and any potential gaps or restrictions that may apply. Agents and brokers should prioritize client education and provide clear explanations of policy terms to help clients make informed choices and select insurance solutions that best meet their needs. Maintaining ethical standards in client interactions strengthens trust and promotes positive relationships within the insurance industry in Idaho. Question 96. Insurance claims. How do loss settlement methods impact property insurance claims handling in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They assess the insurer's liability for covered losses. C. They establish procedures for evaluating and paying claims. D. They evaluate the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer. C. They establish procedures for evaluating and paying claims. Explanation. In Idaho, loss settlement methods in property insurance determine the procedures and criteria used by insurers to evaluate and settle claims for covered losses. Loss settlement methods may include actual cash value, ACV, replacement cost value, RCV, or other specified valuation methods agreed upon in the insurance policy. Insurers apply these methods to calculate the amount of reimbursement or compensation owed to the insured for property damage or loss. Policyholders should understand how loss settlement methods impact claims outcomes and consider options such as replacement cost coverage to minimize out-of-pocket expenses in case of property damage or loss. Effective claims handling under loss settlement methods ensures fair and timely resolution of insurance claims in compliance with Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 97. Workers' compensation insurance. What factors influence the classification of employers for workers' compensation insurance premiums in Idaho? A. The insured properties, location, and construction materials. B. The employer's industry classification and payroll. C. The insured's compliance with state insurance laws. D. The employer's deductible amount selected. Answer. B. The employer's industry classification and payroll. Explanation. In Idaho, the classification of employers for workers' compensation insurance premiums is influenced by factors such as the employer's industry classification, e.g., construction, healthcare, and payroll. Insurers use classification codes assigned by the National Council on Compensation Insurance (NCI) or other rating organizations to categorize employers based on their occupational risks and likelihood of workplace injuries or illnesses. Premium rates reflect the industry-specific risks associated with each classification, with higher-risk industries typically paying higher premiums. Employers in Idaho should maintain accurate payroll records and adhere to classification guidelines to ensure appropriate workers' compensation coverage and compliance with state insurance regulations. Question 98. Insurance industry trends and developments. How do emerging risks and exposures impact insurance underwriting practices in Idaho? A. They decrease the demand for specialized insurance coverage. B. They standardize underwriting criteria across all insurance sectors. C. They require insurers to evaluate and manage new types of risks. D. They limit insurers' ability to offer innovative policy endorsements. Answer. C. They require insurers to evaluate and manage new types of risks. Explanation: emerging risks and exposures impact insurance underwriting practices in Idaho by requiring insurers to evaluate and manage new types of risks that may not have been previously considered or adequately understood. Examples of emerging risks include cyber threats, climate change-related events, and technological advancements affecting industry sectors. Insurers adapt underwriting criteria, risk assessment models, and policy terms to address evolving risks and ensure appropriate coverage options for policyholders. By proactively managing emerging risks, insurers in Idaho can enhance their ability to anticipate and mitigate potential losses, maintain underwriting profitability, and support sustainable insurance operations in a dynamic marketplace. Question 99. Insurance contracts. What role do representations and warranties play in insurance contract formation in Idaho? A. They establish the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They outline the insured's obligations after a claim occurs. C. They provide accurate information to insurers during policy issuance. D. They determine the insured property's market value. Answer: C. They provide accurate information to insurers during policy issuance. Explanation: in Idaho, representations and warranties play a critical role in insurance contract formation by requiring the insured to provide accurate and truthful information to insurers during the application and underwriting process. Representations are statements of fact made by the insured that insurers rely on when issuing insurance policies. Warranties are specific promises or assurances made by the insured regarding the conditions or characteristics of the insured property or the insured's conduct. Insurers use representations and warranties to assess risk, determine premium rates, and establish policy terms and conditions. Policyholders should disclose all material facts and comply with representations and warranties to maintain coverage under Idaho's insurance regulations and contractual obligations. Question 100. Casualty insurance. What are the key differences between occurrence-based and claims-made liability insurance policies in Idaho? A. Occurrence-based policies cover claims made during the policy period. B. Claims-made policies cover losses that occur during the policy period. C. Occurrence-based policies are more expensive due to broader coverage. D. Claims-made policies require higher deductibles for claims. Answer A. Occurrence-based policies cover claims made during the policy period. Explanation: in Idaho, occurrence-based liability insurance policies cover claims made during the policy period for incidents that occur while the policy is in force, regardless of when the claim is reported. This type of policy provides coverage for claims based on when the covered event, occurrence, took place irrespective of when the claim is filed. In contrast, claims-made liability insurance policies provide coverage only for claims reported during the policy period, regardless of when the covered incident occurred. Understanding the differences between occurrence-based and claims-made policies helps insured individuals select appropriate liability coverage options and manage potential liabilities under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 101. Insurance policy analysis. How do exclusions impact coverage under homeowners insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They modify the insured property's market value. C. They limit coverage for specific perils or risks. D. They establish the insured's premium payment schedule. Answer: C. They limit coverage for specific perils or risks. Explanation: in Idaho, exclusions in homeowners insurance policies limit coverage for specific perils or risks that are not included in the standard policy coverage. Exclusions may apply to events such as earthquakes, floods, intentional acts, or certain types of personal property losses. Policyholders should review policy exclusions carefully to understand what types of losses are not covered under their homeowners insurance policy. Understanding exclusions helps homeowners assess their insurance needs, consider additional coverage options or endorsements, and mitigate potential financial risks associated with excluded perils or events in Idaho's regulatory environment. Question 102. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibilities do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client confidentiality? A. They must disclose client information to other insurers without consent. B. They can use client information for personal financial gain. C. They must protect the confidentiality of client information. D. They are exempt from disclosing conflicts of interest to clients. Answer: C. They must protect the confidentiality of client information. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have an ethical responsibility to protect the confidentiality of client information obtained during the course of their business activities. This obligation includes safeguarding sensitive personal and financial information provided by clients to ensure privacy and prevent unauthorized access or disclosure. Agents and brokers should use client information only for legitimate insurance purposes and refrain from sharing confidential details with third parties without client consent, except as required by law or regulation. Upholding client confidentiality promotes trust, enhances professional integrity, and demonstrates respect for client privacy rights within the insurance industry in Idaho. Question 103. Insurance claims. What is the role of a subrogation in property insurance claims handling in Idaho? A. It determines the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. It assesses the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. C. It involves recovering payments from responsible third parties. D. It evaluates the replacement cost of damaged property. Answer: C. It involves recovering payments from responsible third parties. Explanation: in Idaho, subrogation in property insurance claims handling involves the insurer's right to recover payments made to the insured from responsible third parties who may be legally liable for the loss or damage. Subrogation allows insurers to pursue reimbursement or compensation from negligent parties, insurers of at-fault parties, or other entities responsible for causing the insured loss. Insurers initiate subrogation actions to recover claim payments, minimize financial losses, and uphold the principle of indemnity in property insurance contracts. Policyholders should cooperate with insurers during subrogation processes to facilitate recovery efforts and ensure fair resolution of claims under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 104. Insurance underwriting. How do underwriting guidelines impact the issuance of auto insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's premium payment schedule. B. They assess the insured's risk profile and driving history. C. They establish procedures for evaluating and paying claims. D. They exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. Answer: B. They assess the insured's risk profile and driving history. Explanation: in Idaho, underwriting guidelines impact the issuance of auto insurance policies by assessing the insured's risk profile, driving history, and other factors influencing insurance eligibility and premium rates. Insurers use underwriting criteria to evaluate the likelihood of accidents, claims frequency, vehicle characteristics, and driver behavior to determine coverage options and premium pricing. Policyholders' driving records, vehicle usage patterns, and compliance with state insurance requirements influence underwriting decisions that affect policy issuance and insurance affordability in Idaho's competitive auto insurance market. Understanding underwriting guidelines helps insured individuals make informed decisions and select appropriate coverage options tailored to their specific needs and risk exposures. Question 105. State insurance laws and regulations. What consumer protections are provided under Idaho's insurance laws regarding policy cancellations? A. Insurers can cancel policies without providing notice to policyholders. B. Policyholders can cancel policies without penalty or fees. C. Insurers must provide advance notice and reasons for policy cancellations. D. Policyholders must reimburse insurers for cancellation costs. Answer: C. Insurers must provide advance notice and reasons for policy cancellations. Explanation: in Idaho, consumer protections under insurance laws require insurers to provide advance notice and reasons for policy cancellations to policyholders. Insurers must adhere to specific notification requirements, such as providing written notice of cancellation and explaining the reasons for termination, which may include non-payment of premiums, misrepresentation, or increased risk exposure. Policyholders have the right to review cancellation notices, address underlying issues if possible, and explore alternative insurance options to maintain coverage continuity. Consumer protection laws aim to safeguard policyholders' interests, promote transparency in insurance transactions, and ensure fair treatment by insurers operating within Idaho's regulatory framework. Question 106. Insurance contracts. What is the significance of conditions in insurance contracts under Idaho law? A. They establish the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They outline the insured's obligations after a claim occurs. C. They determine the insured property's market value. D. They assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer: B. They outline the insured's obligations after a claim occurs. Explanation: in Idaho, conditions in insurance contracts outline the insured's obligations and responsibilities after a claim occurs, specifying requirements and procedures that must be followed to initiate and process a claim. Conditions may include timely notification of losses, cooperation with the insurer's investigation, and documentation of damages or losses incurred. Policyholders should review and comply with policy conditions to maintain coverage eligibility, facilitate claims handling processes, and ensure fair resolution of insurance claims under Idaho's regulatory framework. Understanding policy conditions helps insured individuals fulfill contractual obligations and maximize insurance benefits in case of covered losses or damages. Question 107. Insurance policy analysis. How do endorsements enhance homeowners insurance coverage in Idaho? A. They establish the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They modify the policy terms and conditions. C. They determine the insured property's market value. D. They assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. Answer: B. They modify the policy terms and conditions. Explanation: in Idaho, endorsements in homeowners insurance policies enhance coverage by modifying policy terms, conditions, or limits beyond what is provided in the standard policy. Endorsements allow policyholders to customize their insurance coverage to meet specific needs, address unique risks, or add additional protection options not included in the base policy. Common endorsements may include coverage for high-value items, extended replacement cost coverage, or increased liability limits. Policyholders should review endorsements with their insurance agent to understand how modifications affect coverage and ensure comprehensive protection against potential losses or liabilities under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 108. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibilities do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client representation? A. They must prioritize their personal interests over client needs. B. They can misrepresent policy terms to influence client decisions. C. They must provide accurate and truthful information to clients. D. They are exempt from disclosing potential conflicts of interest. Answer: C. They must provide accurate and truthful information to clients. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have ethical responsibilities to provide accurate and truthful information to clients when representing insurance products and services. Agents and brokers should disclose policy terms, coverage options, exclusions, and limitations accurately to help clients make informed decisions about their insurance needs. Misrepresenting policy terms or providing misleading information violates ethical standards and undermines trust between agents and clients. Upholding honesty and transparency in client interactions promotes professional integrity, ensures compliance with Idaho's insurance regulations, and supports positive relationships within the insurance industry. Question 109. Insurance claims. What is the role of a salvage in property insurance claims handling in Idaho? A. It determines the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. It assesses the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. C. It involves recovering value from damaged property. D. It evaluates the replacement cost of damaged property. Answer: C. It involves recovering value from damaged property. Explanation: in Idaho, salvage in property insurance claims handling involves recovering value from damaged property to minimize financial losses for insurers. Insurers may salvage materials or items from damaged property that still retain some value, such as metal components, appliances, or fixtures. Salvage helps offset insurance claim costs by selling recovered items or materials, reducing overall claim payouts and potential insurance premiums. Policyholders should cooperate with insurers during salvage processes to facilitate property inspections, documentation of damages, and fair assessment of salvageable items under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 110. Insurance underwriting. How do underwriting guidelines impact the issuance of commercial property insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's premium payment schedule. B. They assess the insured's risk profile and property characteristics. C. They establish procedures for evaluating and paying claims. D. They exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. Answer: B. They assess the insured's risk profile and property characteristics. Explanation: in Idaho, underwriting guidelines impact the issuance of commercial property insurance policies by assessing the insured's risk profile, property characteristics, and other factors influencing insurance eligibility and premium rates. Insurers use underwriting criteria to evaluate property value, construction materials, occupancy type, fire protection measures, and other risk factors that may affect property insurance coverage and pricing. Policyholders should provide accurate information and comply with underwriting guidelines to secure adequate insurance protection, mitigate property risks, and ensure compliance with Idaho's insurance regulations governing commercial property insurance. Question 111. State insurance laws and regulations. What are the key provisions of Idaho's insurance regulations regarding unfair claims settlement practices? A. Insurers can delay claims payments indefinitely without reason. B. Policyholders can file multiple claims for the same loss. C. Insurers must investigate and process claims promptly and fairly. D. Policyholders must reimburse insurers for investigation costs. Answer: C. Insurers must investigate and process claims promptly and fairly. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance regulations prohibit unfair claims settlement practices by requiring insurers to investigate and process claims promptly, fairly, and in good faith. Insurers must adhere to specific standards for claims handling, including timely claim acknowledgement, thorough investigation of facts, and prompt payment of valid claims. Unfair practices such as unreasonable delays, inadequate claim investigations, or unjustified claim denials violate consumer protection laws and may result in penalties or sanctions against insurers. Policyholders have the right to expect fair treatment and timely resolution of insurance claims under Idaho's regulatory framework, promoting transparency and accountability in insurance transactions. Question 112. Insurance policy analysis. What is the purpose of the declarations pages in homeowners insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They outline the insured's obligations after a claim occurs. C. They specify key policy details and coverage limits. D. They evaluate the insured property's market value. Answer: C. They specify key policy details and coverage limits. Explanation: in Idaho, declarations pages in homeowners insurance policies serve the purpose of specifying key policy details and coverage limits applicable to the insured property. Declarations pages typically include information such as the insured's name and address, policy period, coverage types e.g., dwelling, personal property, policy limits, deductibles, and premium amounts. Policyholders should review declarations pages carefully to verify coverage details, understand policy terms and conditions, and ensure adequate protection against potential losses or liabilities under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 113. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibilities do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client fiduciary duties? A. They must prioritize their personal interests over client needs. B. They can misrepresent policy terms to influence client decisions. C. They must act in the best interests of their clients. D. They are exempt from disclosing potential conflicts of interest. Answer: C. They must act in the best interests of their clients. Explanation: in Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have ethical responsibilities to act in the best interests of their clients when providing insurance advice, recommending products, or conducting insurance transactions. Fiduciary duties require agents and brokers to prioritize client needs, provide objective advice, and disclose any potential conflicts of interest that may influence their recommendations. Agents and brokers should avoid self-dealing, misrepresentation, or actions that could compromise client trust or financial well-being. Upholding fiduciary responsibilities promotes ethical conduct, enhances client relationships, and fosters confidence in the insurance industry's integrity under Idaho's regulatory framework. Question 114. Insurance claims. How do loss adjustment expenses impact property insurance claims handling in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. C. They evaluate the replacement cost of damaged property. D. They involve costs incurred to investigate and settle claims. Answer: D. They involve costs incurred to investigate and settle claims. Explanation: in Idaho, loss adjustment expenses in property insurance claims handling involve costs incurred by insurers to investigate, evaluate, and settle claims for covered losses. These expenses may include fees for adjusters, appraisers, legal counsel, and other professionals involved in claim assessment and resolution. Insurers allocate loss adjustment expenses to ensure thorough investigation, accurate claims assessment, and fair resolution of insurance claims under Idaho's regulatory guidelines. Policyholders should cooperate with insurers during claims processes to facilitate timely and equitable settlements, minimize dispute resolution costs, and maximize insurance benefits in case of property damage or loss. Question 115. Casualty insurance. What role do endorsements play in liability insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They modify policy terms and coverage. C. They evaluate the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. D. They assess the replacement cost of damaged property. Answer: B. They modify policy terms and coverage. Explanation: in Idaho, endorsements in liability insurance policies play a crucial role by modifying policy terms, conditions, or coverage beyond what is provided in the standard policy. Endorsements allow policyholders to customize their insurance coverage to meet specific needs or address unique risks not adequately covered under the base policy. Common endorsements in liability insurance may include additional insured endorsements, coverage extensions for specific events or activities, or higher liability limits. Policyholders should review endorsements with their insurance agent to understand modifications to policy terms and ensure comprehensive protection against potential liabilities under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 116. Insurance underwriting. How do underwriting guidelines impact the issuance of life insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's premium payment schedule. B. They assess the insured's risk profile and health status. C. They establish procedures for evaluating and paying claims. D. They exclude coverage for specific perils or risks. Answer: B. They assess the insured's risk profile and health status. Explanation: in Idaho, underwriting guidelines impact the issuance of life insurance policies by assessing the insured's risk profile, health status, and other factors influencing insurance eligibility and premium rates. Insurers use underwriting criteria to evaluate factors such as age, medical history, lifestyle choices, and family medical background to determine coverage options and pricing for life insurance policies. Policyholders should provide accurate information and comply with underwriting guidelines to secure affordable life insurance coverage, mitigate financial risks, and ensure compliance with Idaho's insurance regulations governing life insurance products. Question 117. State insurance laws and regulations. What are the regulatory requirements for producer licensing and continuing education in Idaho? A. Producers must obtain licenses but are exempt from continuing education. B. Producers must renew licenses annually without additional education. C. Producers must complete initial licensing and ongoing education requirements. D. Producers are not required to obtain licenses or fulfill educational requirements. Answer: C. Producers must complete initial licensing and ongoing education requirements. Explanation: in Idaho, producers, insurance agents, and brokers must comply with regulatory requirements for licensing and continuing education to sell insurance products and services. Producers must complete pre-licensing education courses, pass state licensing examinations, and meet ongoing continuing education. C. Requirements to maintain active licenses. C. Requirements ensure producers remain knowledgeable about insurance laws, regulations, product updates, and industry best practices. Producers should fulfill C. Obligations through approved courses and training programs to uphold licensing eligibility and support professional competence within Idaho's insurance industry. Question 118. Insurance policy analysis. What are the key elements of insuring agreements in property insurance policies in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for deductibles. B. They outline the insured's obligations after a claim occurs. C. They specify the scope of coverage provided by the policy. D. They evaluate the replacement cost of damaged property. Answer: C. They specify the scope of coverage provided by the policy. Explanation. In Idaho, insuring agreements in property insurance policies specify the scope and extent of coverage provided by the policy. These agreements outline the perils or risks against which the insured property is protected, defining the insurance coverage, contractual obligations, and limits. Insuring agreements may include coverage for property damage, theft, vandalism, and other covered losses, depending on the policy terms and conditions. Policyholders should review insuring agreements to understand coverage provisions, exclusions, and limitations applicable to their property insurance policies under Idaho's insurance regulations. Question 119. Ethics and professional conduct. What ethical responsibilities do insurance agents and brokers in Idaho have regarding client confidentiality? A. They must disclose client information to other insurers without consent. B. They can use client information for personal financial gain. C. They must protect the confidentiality of client information. D. They are exempt from disclosing conflicts of interest to clients. Answer. C. They must protect the confidentiality of client information. Explanation. In Idaho, insurance agents and brokers have ethical responsibilities to protect the confidentiality of client information obtained during the course of their business interactions. Agents and brokers should safeguard sensitive personal and financial information provided by clients, ensuring privacy and preventing unauthorized access or disclosure. Agents and brokers must use client information only for legitimate insurance purposes and refrain from sharing confidential details with third parties without client consent, except as required by law or regulation. Upholding client confidentiality promotes trust, maintains professional integrity, and complies with ethical standards within Idaho's insurance industry. Question 120. Insurance claims. How do deductibles impact property insurance claim settlements in Idaho? A. They determine the insured's responsibility for claim losses. B. They evaluate the replacement cost of damaged property. C. They assess the insured's financial responsibility in case of a claim. D. They establish the insured's premium payment schedule. Answer. A. They determine the insured's responsibility for claim losses. Explanation. In Idaho, deductibles in property insurance policies impact how claim settlements are calculated by determining the insured's financial responsibility for covered losses before insurance coverage applies. Policyholders select deductibles at the time of policy issuance, choosing an amount they are willing to pay out of pocket toward a claim before the insurer pays the remaining balance. High deductibles typically result in lower insurance premiums but require policyholders to bear more initial costs in case of a claim. Understanding deductibles helps policyholders manage insurance costs, assess financial risks, and maximize coverage benefits under Idaho's insurance regulations governing property insurance policies.